Okay, so in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how I went from being a videographer, struggling from going from job to job, to now being an SMMA owner, consistently hitting a monthly income of 30 to 40K. You don't need a bunch of fancy equipment, a huge team, or years of experience to do this. It's all about positioning and strategy. I learned this stuff from the best, and in this video, I'm going to give you the exact framework and steps that you need to take today to set yourself up for success. All right, so there's a big difference between video content creation and then running an SMMA. Video content creation is just handing over pretty looking videos to clients. Typically, videographers or video production companies specialize in just creating the content, while SMMAs can create content, but mainly focus on getting results for clients based off strategy, consultation, and implementing that content into systems to generate either financial results for the clients or getting eyeballs on their content online, which will eventually lead to more leads and sales. So my name is Jason, owner of JLS Video Agency, and I spent my 20s being a videographer, going from project to project, always chasing new leads. And a couple of years ago, I started getting really burnt out. And so I decided to invest in my own education. I took a couple of courses, I worked with some coaches and consultants, and after investing a ton of money and time into my personal education, I now run a company with a team of full-time video editors, a video producer, and that are constantly churning out new work for my clients every single week. Now, it took me about a year to implement this process, going from 0 to 100, but after about 6 months of implementing the strategies that I'm going to talk about in this video, I started to see a real return on my investment. So before we dive into the strategy and approach that I took, I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about the importance of SMMA and its positioning in the current market in 2025. I'm going to break down the basics of what an SMMA is to me and the reason why every single business owner that exists right now can benefit from working with an SMMA. All right, so obviously we all know that content creation is important for business owners. However, that's really only half the journey. If you're creating content as a business and not doing anything with that content, it's like having a car without any tires. It's not going to take you anywhere. It's just the infrastructure. And so having an SMMA and using that content to implement a strategy to get results for those business owners is like adding tires and wheels to the car and accelerating the engine and just going forward. There's three main ways that SMMAs can help business owners, especially local business owners, but it also applies to e-commerce brands. That's going to be organic content creation, paid content creation, as well as SEO. Now, posting organic content is only the first step when it comes to an SMMA. Creating an organic funnel that actually uses content to draw people in is really the key. So when you post a video, you actually have a system to bring those clients who are viewing those videos into the business to get them booked calls and eventually sales. Running paid content, of course, is just putting money behind content to generate direct leads and sales. And then SEO optimization is just helping those business owners rank higher on search, and video can be a great way to do that. Before I explain each one in more detail, well, because SMMA is different than video production, you have to actually be able to prove that you can get some results for your clients. So to do that, I would recommend starting off by offering a free or very low ticket offer to some clients, getting some people in the door and creating great results for them. Now, those results can either be views on the videos. Now, it's really important when picking businesses to work with in the beginning that you choose businesses that you feel confident you can deliver great results for. If they're already struggling, you're not going to be able to help them that much. But if they're doing really well and just want to take it to the next level, that's a great example of a business that you can help. A great way to start off is by doing an audit of the companies that you deem worthy of working with together in the beginning. So you create a Loom video of yourself talking to camera about the content that those companies are posting and basically comparing them to their competitors and showing how their competitors are getting results and how they're being left out. So if their competitors are posting organic content, getting tons of comments and views, which will obviously lead to sales, you can simply note the differences and say, hey, I can help do this for you. You can also see if their competitors are running paid ads. All you have to do is go to Facebook, go to the competitor's page and click on About and then Page Transparency, and then you'll see the ads that their competitors are running currently. You'll literally be able to show them that their competitors are running ads that are stealing their customers away from them and say, hey, we can do this for you. Now, if you want to get more in depth onto how to do cold outreach and how to get clients or even running your paid ads, check out some of the other videos on my channel where I do more of an in-depth explanation on that. This is more of a high-level overview on how to go from being a videographer to being the owner of an SMMA. Now, earlier I was talking about funnels, organic funnels, paid funnels, and it's really not that complicated of a system. It just is it's literally a funnel that takes people from not being aware of the brand and who they are to basically eventually buying and purchasing and working with that company. So when you're running a paid ad or you're doing organic content posts, that's basically what they call top of funnel content. That's content that's designed to make people aware of that business, because before they didn't even know that they existed. That's kind of step one. And then you eventually bring them down further and further into the funnel where they eventually want to work with you. What's really working well in terms of both organic and paid funnels right now is basically what's called a DM funnel, direct message funnel. And it's basically those ads that you probably have seen on Instagram where you're scrolling and you see a video that speaks directly to you. And they say something like, if you want to learn more, press the message button below or contact us below and we'll get in touch with you. It's pretty easy to set those up. I'm not going to dive into it in this video, but basically by setting these up for your clients, you're going to instantly guarantee eyeballs on their content. If it's organic, they don't have to put money behind it. It's only really good though if they have a good fan base and a good following online. And if they don't have any fan base, then there's no point in doing much. Then the organic content is not as effective, but can be good over time to build up trust and grow their presence. So I'd recommend usually doing a kind of a combination of both paid and organic. And if you haven't run paid before, you either want to partner with somebody who knows how to do it or run it for yourself first so you can kind of get the ropes before you do it for a client. What even is a sales funnel and how does it even work? These days, a funnel is the equivalent to back in the day running advertisements on TV or using the yellow pages to put out your business or even putting a sign in front of your store. It's just a way of alerting people that you're open for business and a way of attracting and funneling people into your doors. Those old methods like getting your name in directories and running commercials on TV, it still works, but the ROI isn't as trackable, and it's actually a lot more difficult to set those kinds of things up. After all, everyone's eyeballs are on social media these days, and so it's a great way to capture attention and turn that attention into leads and sales. All right, so what's great about this type of content is that soon your clients will be kind of asking you to come every single month back to shoot more content for them because you're going to be able to prove that you're getting them high quality results. This is one of my clients, Dr. Jen Berman, we shoot content for, and she literally texts me once a month saying, hey, when are you coming in to shoot content for me? Because we've shown her that our videos get engagement, they get traffic to her page, to her website, people message her, comment, leave things like this, how can we work with you, etc., etc. Now, the next question is, what type of content do you need to be shooting for these organic and paid funnels to really work well? And the answer is there's so many different types of content that will work for them, but for the organic content, you want to focus on solving the problems of the client demographic. So think to yourself and work with your client on this and fill out a sheet on what are the most important problems that your clients typically come to you with and come to you about. What are the FAQs that they always are asking? And then just simply create videos around that type of content where they answer those questions and then make them engaging on screen. Add some captions, add a little bit of B-roll. They don't have to be super intense hype sizzle edits at all. You can see some examples here of what we've done in the past. These videos are designed to create trust and appreciation between the potential client and the service provider. They're not designed to create a sale. In fact, I would encourage the person on camera to not even be trying to make a sale in these videos. The whole idea here is to just create a relationship with those people. Now, the paid content is a little bit different. You can either create more of that organic, non-direct content where it's more educational, and then when you put money behind it, it goes to the new audience, or you can create paid content that has more of a direct ask. Think more like a classic commercial where there's a call to action at the end of the screen. Now, you can literally just copy their competitors' ads by doing the thing I discussed earlier, going to the page transparency of those various pages, seeing what their competitors' ads are running, copying the general idea and premise of those ads, and then repurposing them with those particular clients' content. All right, so the next AI software that I love to use is Opus AI. Now, you know when you get a long form piece of content, either a podcast or a long interview with a client, it's like 20 minutes to an hour, and you want to provide them a bunch of short form pieces of content that are from that long form. Well, Opus AI will literally scan the entire transcript of that conversation and tell you what are the most interesting things discussed based off virality. It literally has a virality meter, A+. It literally has a virality meter, and then we'll make them vertical by splitting the frame in half. Then we'll make the content vertical, add engaging captions, and export them all for you so that you can then provide your client with those clips. Now, disclaimer here, you have to go into Opus AI after it processes these clips, and you have to manually by hand adjust the in and out points, as well as make sure that every cut is to your liking. AI isn't perfect. We're not 100% there yet. It's not going to replace, it hasn't replaced editors, but it reduces the time in editing literally by 80%. So now when you have a 20-minute to 1-hour piece of content, that long-form video can now also provide your client with 10 to 15 short-form pieces of content for them to point to the long-form piece of content and push them there. Now, instead of having your clients or you yourself manually upload every single piece of content when you finish it, there's a better way to do it these days. So you can either use softwares like Hootsuite or Metricool or Go High Level to schedule out every single post on their social media platforms. Now, the best use case for this is, let's say you want to post to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, all various social media platforms. Now, the best use case for this is if you have multiple different platforms that you're posting the content to. Let's say you have a YouTube Shorts page, a LinkedIn page, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can take that one post and blast it to every single one of these different platforms at the same time. Now, quick tip here is to not have the same piece of content go live on the same day on all the different platforms. So for example, if you're going to be posting content A on Monday on TikTok, have content A go live on Facebook on Tuesday, have it go live on LinkedIn on Wednesday, yada, yada, have content B go live on TikTok so that you don't have the same post going live on every platform. This helps your audience retention so that if they see your video on Instagram and then they see the same video on TikTok, they don't scroll past it, which affects your views and ultimately your sales. Now, when it comes to writing good copy for your posts and even for the content themselves, ChatGPT is obviously a clear winner. However, big disclaimer here. If you're going to be writing copy for your ads on ChatGPT, make sure you ask it to only write copy that will not get flagged on Meta. You cannot make crazy guarantees. You can't say things if you're in certain niches, like the medical niche, for example. And so make sure you ask it to only write content that will not get flagged by Meta if you are running that content on Meta. Obviously, some platforms are more lenient, but most people are running their ads on Meta. Now, when it comes to this copywriting workflow on ChatGPT, there are many different experts out there that teach the best workflow. For me, I have just learned to enhance my prompts and basically have a conversation with the AI. So basically, the first thing you want to ask it for are just ideas and different options, and then you can prompt it to refine those options. Then you can add bullet points and further enhance those ideas by writing out your own copy based off the outlines, or provide information from your client on the pain points of your client's demographics. Basically, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So if you have an entire PDF filled with your client's pain points, their FAQs, their best offers, their past copy, things that they said in podcasts, the AI will craft a much better response. For example, one of my clients, Heal Thyself, we're posting content every single day. We actually have 2 videos that go live every single day on their YouTube page. And the only way that we're able to do that is by using Opus AI to tell us what pieces of content to use, and it automatically cuts it down for us and provides us with the clips. Just a few years ago, without these tools, I would need an entire team of 10 to 15 people on my SMMA in order to deliver all the copy and editing and shooting that I provide to my clients every single week, who are able to scale my content delivery for my clients and for myself. Now, if you want to learn more about scaling your SMMA or getting new clients for your SMMA, check out the other videos on my channel where I dive deeper into this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this video and you want to see more, and comment below if you have any questions for me.